I'm here with the masterminds behind BAXE, B-A-X-E, and I want to find out all about it. So I have here Christian Moore and Andrew Broad. First of all, Christian, you are the CEO. Would you tell me a little bit about yourself, first of all, before we get into the project?
Yeah, thanks, Gillian. Well, I'm a commercial litigation corporate lawyer with over 20 years experience, and I'm based in Brisbane, Australia. And I've been looking into having dealings with the whole DLT/crypto world for the past 7 years, and developing the BAXE initiative for the last 3 years.
Excellent. Andrew, your background, please.
Yes, Andrew Broad, COO of BAXE. I'm a computer engineer by background. I spent a large part of my career building electronic trading systems or managing technology organizations for big investment banks. So Citigroup, worked for Macquarie Bank in Australia, both on the institutional buy side and sell side. And then for the last 5 years, I've been in Hong Kong in venture capital in and around the blockchain space.
Excellent. Okay, BAXE. What is it? I'm Christian, you to go forward first. What is BAXE?
Well, I'll use in a nutshell analogy. And what it is, we believe, is the world's first blockchain-based super app. What it does is it provides integrated communications and exchange facility. With those capabilities, supports what we call an ecology. The big opportunity that arises out of the ecology and providing those baseline capabilities is it opens the doorway to this the promised land, if you would like, of the opportunities which the technology of blockchain can unleash to the world. For the past 10 or 15 years, we've seen a lot made of cryptocurrencies, a little bit more about smart contracts and emerging opportunities in fintech. Now what we're seeing is the development of integrated platforms and technical layers, DApps, I think is the appropriate terminology, that can start to actually unlock and unleash a whole raft of opportunities in blockchain, anywhere from utility aggregation, asset digitization, crowdfunding. The sky's the limit, really.
Okay, it's a super app. Andrew, you're the techie guy here. What blockchain is it built on, or is it a new one?
So, I mean, there's a number of different technical components that make up the platform. So we have both an internal blockchain, which allows us to move value around the network. So internal payment rails. Part of the feature set of the application is payment rails in order to do payments. And also the ability to do international remittances. We are also looking at building out, well, we have built out a BMC or a BAXE market coin, which is essentially our utility token that allows people to participate in the value that's created by the network.
And is it cross chain or any chain, or you sort of even internal blockchain?
Yeah, our internal blockchain is built on Hyperledger Besu. So it's an internal payment rail in order to move value around the platform. Our BAXE market coin token is an ERC20 token built on the Ethereum blockchain.
Okay, so you were saying earlier, Christian, it's a super app, right? We hear about payment rails, remittances, so exchange of value. Well, is this like the only app we're ever going to need, the one ring to rule us all? Is that what we're aiming at?
Wow. I like to think of it as a doorway and a bridge to greater opportunity, because we don't want to be a monopoly platform. We want to develop a system that will enable other people to come in and get access to those foundational elements that they need to actually build their own platforms and system within this infrastructure environment.
So you're providing the platform with payments, which is obviously one of the base features, and you want other developers to come in and build.
Yeah, exactly. Gillian. So we're going to be providing a range of tools within the network that in essence, in the form of, at one level, low-code development platforms that enable people to actually get inside small businesses, citizen developers, people in the gig economy, to actually design and build and develop their own tools and platforms and implementations and business models within the ecology environment, and put those to market.
Yeah, Gillian, there's a real kind of dichotomy between kind of East meets West. If you look at the way that some technology platforms have been built in the Western world out of Silicon Valley, they tend to be platforms that do one thing really well, as opposed to if you look at some of the ecosystem or ecology-based technologies that are being built in Asia, like Gojek or Grab in Malaysia, WeChat in China. They're more of an ecosystem play. So it's a platform or ecology that does many, many things inside of a super app. And that's really the approach that we've taken. And to use WeChat as the analogy, WeChat started with this sort of peer-to-peer messaging platform, then pretty much figured out that, well, we've now got, massive user scale, and wouldn't it be great if people could send, payments and peer-to-peer payments to each other? So they built this embedded finance layer into it. Then that evolved into, well, can we pay utility bills? Can we integrate that with the banking system? And then they also decided to come up with the ability for people to create mini apps and stores on top of the WeChat platform. We're kind of doing somewhat the same thing, but we're adding an e-commerce component into it, a lifestyle component into it, embedded finance into it, and we're putting this low-code development platform, within the system to enable developers to come into the ecosystem and build their own tools and products and share in the value of the ecosystem.
That makes sense. And what's interesting, what you're doing, because WeChat is the obvious one that we in the West think of when we think of those integrated platforms. Yeah. And more than Amazon started with just books, and Amazon is everything. WeChat messaging now, it's everything. Okay, that makes sense to me.
Yes, but WeChat China, not really outside of China, right? And given the geopolitics, probably.
No, absolutely. No.
The thing is, Gillian, a lot of our executives have spent a lot of time in Asia as working for big corporate and development companies and so on. And so that we bring a lot of experience and a lot of connectivity and a lot of the culture of the East, right, into this platform. But integrate it and polish it and deliver it in a way that is palatable to Western markets. And I don't think that's been done successfully. Now, to Andrew's point, it's quite right. The West has gone about delivering all of these really high developed functional applications that are quite segmented. And when you try to bring those things and utilize those things together, it's clunky. It's not seamless. It's not integrated. It's not fluid. For example, why can't my communications have a banking or exchange facility built into it? Why not? Or one of the reasons they might say is, and I know, look, we're aware that, PayPal and the like are starting to integrate and develop these things at a baseline level. One of the reasons for this is because, the banks have a banking layer and security platform that has, they would say, inhibited them from being able to make that leap into providing these broader applications and services within their systems. Well, we're not bound by that. We can bring all of these things cohesively together. We're developing, I'm not sure if Andy mentioned, but we're talking about developing a 2-token economy with a market coin that people can speculate on, and they can generate utility revenues out of the system with a stable coin that is actually backed by assets and fiat currencies or other value references, and with an ability for us to actually create a bridge between the fiat economy and our stable coin economy. He uses that seamless value exchange experience that they need to make this an easy technology to start to get on board with and adopt. And that's what this is all about, Gillian. This is about, we believe that we've developed an app that will bring blockchain to the masses. That's the opportunity.
So you're coming from a good place, because I read a lot of your collateral, And there's a huge push on why blockchain is good, you know, and I think we're preaching to the converted here. We're all singing the same hymn sheet, which is cool. But it's interesting, you're coming in, especially like after the crypto winter and the summer of DeFi. So we've had a lot of development. You're going, okay, now we're standing here. What are the best bits? Can we take them all together?
Exactly.
So that makes sense. What works, you know, it's almost like a green field with all the additional knowledge.
100%. And so, you know, the way that I kind of talk about it is, you know, if you're familiar with the concept of Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3, Web 1, you know, initial protocols, you had, you know, America Online, they're a portal, they created all of the content, they own the portal, they own, you know, all of the distribution of the content, they own kind of everything, right? The whole thing sort of soup to nuts. And then, you know, post the dot-com bust, we had Web 2. So we had these platforms come out, Facebook and Instagram, they own the platform, but participants on the platform come on, create the content and consume the content. They're not a publisher, they're just a platform provider. Web 1 really never really got mass user adoption until 1997 when Mark Andreessen and Jim Clark brought out the Netscape browser. Before that, you need to have a computer science degree. You need to be very tech savvy in order to interact with the internet. And that was the aha moment for the internet when the Netscape browser came out, made it very, very easy for people to interact with the internet. You can kind of think of BAXE the same way. What we're trying to do is abstract away all of the complexity of the underlying blockchain technology, all of the complexity of crypto, and provide the masses, the non-blockchain people, the non-crypto degens, if you will, a Netscape browser, the BAXE app, in order to participate in the blockchain economy.
Okay, so two things I'm thinking about now. First of all, merchants, you're talking about merchants and fees being distributed and stuff like that. Is that an open door? Is that like basically the internet, whether you're a bookseller or an influencer?
Yeah, so there's three pillars in the platform. There's a lifestyle pillar, there is an e-commerce pillar, and there's an embedded finance pillar. So in the e-commerce pillar, we're working with Salesforce on their marketplace platform to basically create a marketplace, and that marketplace will have people on it like the Nikes and the Adidases of the world, but it will very well also have a rug shop in Casablanca who sell, you know, or in Turkey that sells Persian rugs. Or it might have a soap store down a little alleyway in Paris. And so
I love this. And is there any impediment to get on, to be coming on? Is there a cost to come on for the Adidas versus the little rug store?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no cost to come onto the platform, but, you know, there will be, you know, merchant acquiring fees and, you know, and transaction fees that get generated on the platform.
Yeah.
And those fees will accrue to the network, and a portion of those fees will accrue to the holders of the BAXE market coin. Yeah. So we want our users to participate in the value creation of the platform.
That's very clever. That's how you grow your community.
Yeah, exactly.
Clever.
And another feature that we have with that as well, Gillian, is that what the BMC stakers will get, they will get an opportunity to share, as Andrew said, in what we call reward tokens, but they will be required to expend those reward tokens within the network. And that means that that's driving a multiplier effect through the system. And it's not as restrictive as it seems, because it's very easy, Gillian, for anyone to open up an account with their device. It's absolutely seamless. We're using advanced biometrics and KYC and device authentication, state-of-the-art technology. Onboarding is very simple. If, for example, I've accumulated 10,000 BSC tokens, and I say, well, you know, I say to my supplier, well, look, if you sign up to the app, I can remit to you this BSC. And you can redeem your rewards that way. And you've done a great thing, because you're driving your investment back into your platform, and you've got another participant on board, and they're going to contribute to that economic model and grow and expand the system. And the jewel in the crown here for everybody, Gillian, is that we really believe in those principles and those ideals that are core to DLT and blockchain. And that is, we want to see, I'm going to be direct with you here, an end to the existing financial order. We want disintermediation. We don't see any reason for the status quo to continue the way it is. We want people to be independent. We want them to have control over their information and their identity and their privacy. We want them to be able to exploit their own utility in the information and control who gets access to what, when, where, and how. So a lot of those core principles in the blockchain world are things that we hold very dear. We can't say that at the get-go that we're going to be able to deliver on all of those things, because Rome wasn't built in a day. And the difficult place that we find ourselves in, Gillian, is that we've had to build this hybrid system between two worlds to act as a bridge between the pure crypto world and the mainstream banking finance economy. And there's a tension there. So some people may be critical and say, well, you might have compromised on this or that. But we say, well, look, we understand that there are some limitations and deficiencies in terms of the technology that's available to us right now, but we have to comply with a lot of law, a lot of regulation around finance and security and a whole range of things to deliver people this platform.
This is very exciting. Okay, now I'm starting to twig now. And I love the fact you've kind of looked at, you've surveyed the environment, gone, okay, well, let's take the best of things. You're right. It's still, I mean, it's only 11 years old, the real push into Bitcoin. I know blockchain's been there before, but it's in the last 3 or 4 years, there's been the most development going on. So you're taking the best of it. I want to ask, and sorry, I did cut across you earlier. I got very excited about the e-commerce side of things. It's e-commerce, lifestyle, and banking. So the lifestyle, who are you going to attract there? Is it influencers?
Part of our customer acquisition strategy is influencer marketing. The sort of digital marketing that you would expect. Our chief marketing officer is a senior executive from Saatchi & Saatchi and Facebook. So he ran the large advertising market for Facebook in Asia Pacific.
So he's very
Yeah, that's right.
Great name.
So it is. So he's very savvy around how digital marketing works. He's also got some great insights from his time at Facebook as to what to do and what not to do, as you can imagine. And our ethos is very similar to very different to Facebook insofar as there is no intention whatsoever for us to ever sell any user data to anyone. In fact, our intention is, and we already have quite a significant portion of user data, which is stored within a cryptographic vault. So every user on the platform will have their own cryptographic vault, and a portion of their user data when they log into the platform will be stored in that vault. And over time, more and more of the data that is generated on the platform as the technology evolves will be stored in an individual user's vault. And if they decide to leave the platform, they can delete their vault or they can take their vault with them.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm getting the good vibes on the ethics behind this platform very strongly, which is very good. The finance component now, is that just a payments, or will there be lending, interest, anything, any of those, DeFi, anything there?
Yeah, correct. So it is currently at its core, peer-to-peer payments and or consumer to business payments. There is features around international remittance. We have some partnerships with people like Gemini, the regulated exchange out of New York, to offer people the ability to buy and sell cryptocurrency through the Gemini platform. We also have a partnership with Genesis, which is one of the biggest crypto trading desks globally, to access their Earn product, which is normally only available to institutions. We become an aggregator for them and are able to offer that to our customers. Another really big thing, that the management team are very cognizant of, and that is, there are, I think the World Bank stats are 2.1 billion unbanked people around the world. And I spent 3.5 years living in the Philippines, and there's about 110 million people that live in the Philippines, and about 70 or 80% of them don't have a bank account. And the reason that they don't have a bank account is because they live in a tin shed in the province, and all of their belongings got washed away in the last typhoon. Yeah. But what they do have, is, and Christian, you might want to jump in here, is, they've got a fingerprint, and they've got, what else?
An eyeball.
That's right.
A phone number, and a handset. And that is all you need to get access to the first tier of financial services with BAXE. And a big part of our push, Gillian, is that we believe the way we're going to change this world is through recruiting those vast masses of people in the unbanked world, in Indonesia, India, Philippines, Thailand, South America. That's where we're focusing on those markets. We believe, obviously, commercially, they're fantastic opportunities. They're rapidly developing. You know, they're forward-looking, and they're receptive to technology and change. But you know, we really do believe that this technology has the power to change the world. We're moving into Europe. We're launching in Europe in Q1 next year, but our focus, Europe, is about establishing ourselves, getting ourselves right, ironing out the bugs, proving the concept, and then moving into target markets. The first one is Indonesia. We're talking to people there as we speak. And then markets like India and Vietnam, Philippines will be next on the list. Wow,
I'm very impressed. Tell me, where can people find you to find out more?
You can go to our website, and there's www.baxe.com. And we've got a launch site called takebacktheinternet.com.
Oh, I meant to say, I love that tagline, take back the internet. That's such a good line, and I love it. It's true. It's, you know, all the joy and the hope that was in the internet.
Well, that's what we want to do.
Take back the internet.
This is our mission, and I don't know what it is, but I've been blessed by a team of highly intelligent, capable executives who are inspired and passionate about this dream that we have to actually use this technology, turn it around and make a difference, put things back in the hands of the community and the world.
Wow. I think that's a great place to stop. Thank you so much indeed for your time today. That's an inspiring interview.
It's great. Thank you.
Thanks so much.